I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, help support the cause. I get everyone involved. I feel like I'm on the ball today. I even felt exempted from the law today. It's like this revelation dawned on me. It's so amazing, help support the cause. I get everyone involved.
Good morning. Welcome
What's
back
up?
to another Nudelberg Daily Huddle. And making a guest appearance this morning is Julian Sidney.
Hey, dude, what's up? I got to see you play soccer on Friday night, man. What a treat.
Can you say good morning to everybody? Good
Oh,
morning.
that's good.
Good job.
So awesome. So awesome. I'm so happy to see him, a glimmer of hope and niceness on a very dark Monday morning for me, man. Woo.
We are for sure seeing the separation of teams in the NFL. And what has become very apparent is that neither the Jets or the Dolphins are a good football team. So
I mean, so, as bad as that was, I'm watching two games. I'm watching the Mets play, and I get nothing from the Mets, which, let me put it this way. I got a lot from the Mets. I'm very happy. It was a wonderful season, far more than I expected. So I'm grateful there. But there is a mess going on in Jet Camp. Ooh.
yeah, it's tough. I mean, if you're a New Yorker, you're happy because you have the Yankees in the World Series. So good for you guys that you have a team that you get to root for. But the Mets get eliminated. The Jets have a organizational problem. It would appear that the Dolphins also have an organizational problem. And yeah, it's a great conversation about leadership and about development. There's no band-aids. There's no quick fixes. And like even last night watching the game, watching Pittsburgh against the Jets, I just felt like I was watching two old guys try to relive it still and try to get after it still. And you watch, I mean, Russ is not young, Russ is old, and it's obvious that he can't play the way he used to play, even though there were some glimmers of good plays. And similar with Aaron Rodgers. I will tell you, that interception right before the half, that is a ball that he makes 5 years ago. He sees that window. He knows that window. He used to have the arm strength and the accuracy to fit it in there. Can't do it anymore. He's not what he used to be.
Here's what's worse, though. Here's what's worse. He will then blame Garrett Wilson. He will point everywhere. That guy's not looking at himself at all.
Poor leadership.
You talk about a lesson in leadership or lack of. He keeps looking for everybody else to do something and not himself. So Nancy Stellway is in the house.
Yeah, Nancy, great to see you here this morning. I actually had a conversation with her on Friday, and I was like, why don't we see you in the huddle anymore? And she was like, well, it used to be my drive time. Now I'm already in the office. I was like, well, then just flip it on your computer. Have it as your background noise as you're getting going. Nancy, great to see you guys. We got a great show this morning.
Nancy's busy climbing mountains and jumping over buildings and doing hard 75. So
no doubt, amazing things that she's
doing.
doing.
So there's a lot that went on this weekend. Friday night was, we're always talking about FOE, family over everything, but you have to make a commitment to that if that's what you want. And Friday night was, to me, the highlight. Forget anything else that happened. Just being with the two boys, just watching Jules play soccer, and then these two together. You've done something special there, my son.
I know. It was such a great weekend having Kai here and watching them two continue to bond and play. It was great for us as well. We did family pictures on Saturday on the beach. It was filled with tons of just the boys playing. But if you look at the picture in the bottom right, for those of you who are not in South Florida and didn't know what was happening this weekend, it was a Taylor Swift takeover. And when I got to the airport at 5:30 on Sunday morning, the Swifties were going through a little bit of their post-game little bit of their post-game recovery because they were there, they were tired, but it was mind-blowing. When I talk about, so we were in Miami Lakes yesterday for a birthday party. We were right next to Opelika Airport. I'm talking about every 60 seconds, there was a private jet coming in over the park and landing at Opelika Airport to go to the concert last night. So I'm so excited to see the economic impact and the final numbers for what happened from this weekend, because it was insanity. It was legitimate insanity.
Well, we saw our boy Phil Boatman, comes in, from Lexington, Kentucky, brings his daughter. So this is like a major FOE weekend, man. We saw a lot of parents doing it for their kids.
And I will tell you, being at the airport, like Greg talked about coming home from Charlotte on Saturday, half the plane were Swifties. There's no, obviously there's the Swiftie army. I think that's like anywhere from like 16 to 40. And like you could tell who they are. But there were babies, there were grandparents, there were parents. It was unbelievable. I was at the airport going, this woman touches every generation, touches men, women. It didn't matter the amount of people. If she ran for president, she would 1,000% win.
Well, it's funny. Lisa Lutoff-Perlo, we had breakfast with her yesterday, and she went to the concert with her sister and her sister's daughter. And I said, so tell me about it. And she goes, unbelievable hard worker, 3.5 hour show in the rain.
Right.
She still kept doing it, entertaining. Then she got into the business side of what she's done to the industry. And so, I guess you're seeing magic. I mean, let's face it, 3 nights, 100,000 people plus, and then all of the merchandise and hotels and restaurants and airlines. And you're right.
I would assume bigger than the Super Bowl. Like, I don't know if it will be on par. Right. That's what I mean. Like 3 straight nights, you had 3 Super Bowls right in a row. And then they opened up 2 days prior so that you could buy merchandise if you didn't have a ticket.
Well, we were working with the Ameren team in their corporate office. Shout out to Andrea and Becky and some of the Ameren folks that are here this morning. But we were in the Miramar location Wednesday. I leave there, it's about 11:30, and the whole other side of the turnpike was closed. And all it was cop cars. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I called Jay, and he goes, Swiftie mania.
Right.
They had already blocked stuff, and security was crazy.
They opened up 2 days prior. They gave windows 2 days prior for people to be able to buy merchandise that didn't have tickets to the concert. So merchandise for 5 straight days, shows for 3 straight days. Absolutely unbelievable. Tom Brady and his sons were there. I saw that he posted.
I don't want to belabor the football thing, but what the hell is going on in Tallahassee?
Oh, yeah, it's a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. And this, for me, this is why you can't trust results. Results lie to you 1,000%. Because coming out of last year, everybody would go, oh, Mike Norvell's a great head coach. He's building a great program. He's brought Florida State back. But if you look at process and you look at what's happening day in and day out, I knew there was a major hole in the way they were going about recruiting and the way they were going about developing their talent. So it's a great lesson for businesses in talent recruiting, in talent development, in leadership development. You can go from having your absolute best year in business to filing for bankruptcy when you don't take care of your talent, you don't have a strategy to acquire talent, and you don't have a strategy to develop them.
Sad, sad, sad. Last thing, just before we get going, Shea Money celebrated his birthday on Friday. You were not here, so I know you wanted to wish him a happy birthday. And the OTB team sent him to dinner with his wife. So happy birthday once again, Mr.
Hope
Shea.
you had a great weekend, Shea Money.
Let's wake this thing up.
Let's go. We're 8:07. Let's wake up.
Let's go. All right,
Let's
all
roll.
right. Just another shout out to Mike Ficara. Crushed it on Friday. Had an
Great
amazing
show Friday
Thunder in the hot
morning.
seat. Smoked a Guido cigar over the weekend, as you could hear. It's way down in there. As we do every day, we start the day with a daily affirmation. Mark, do us the honors, because this one's a doozy.
Shay, pop it up for me. What if what you are going through is just an opportunity to prove to yourself who you really are and what you are capable of? And I saw Shannon Sharp posted a video about when you ask God for patience, he doesn't give you patience. He puts you in a situation where you have to use patience. And so that today's daily affirmation was right along that, right? All the things you want. And I kind of wrote about that this morning too. Like, I don't know. I look back on my football career and there were so many miserable moments. There were so many moments where I was with people I didn't want to be with in a place I didn't want to be in. But if I didn't endure that pain, all of those lessons that came from that time and all of the great people that I met and all of the experiences I had that were still gold, even though they were wrapped in a shitty wrapping, like I don't get any of that. So sometimes you got to go through that nonsense to get what's really there for you. And so that today's daily affirmation is a great reminder of that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people recognize the struggle. They see what's in public. To quote Tony Robbins again, it's all what happens in private, how you deal with it, whatever. When I had coffee with Nancy a couple of weeks ago, and she says, "Wow, you really look happy." And I go, "I really am," number
Right.
one. And number two is everything I've gone through in my whole career prepared me to get here, which I now know what I want. I
Right.
didn't know what I wanted. I was all over the map chasing everybody else's dreams. So, but a lot of this creates pressure. And I read this about a week ago. I must have used it in every coaching call I had. Saturday night, I went out to dinner with some friends, Ellen and Steve, and I used it again. I want to share the video. This is Shaq talking about pressure.
Rookie year, we're playing the New York Knicks, and I have a terrible game. And I get a call on my phone. My father says, "Get your ass home right now. I don't want to talk to you. Be here tomorrow at 0500. If you don't, I'm going to knock your ass out." I'm there at 5 a.m. He's already dressed, and we get in the car and we ride. And I was like, "But what? Shut the hell up. We're just riding." So I come across this homeless family, and we're just looking for an hour. He said, "What happened in the game yesterday?" I said, "Man, I don't know. I let the pressure get to me." He was pissed. "You spoiled mother effer making all this money. You talking about pressure? This is pressure when you don't know where your next meal is coming from. Get out." There was a guy, his wife, and 2 kids. I can't have them laying on the street. So I went and talked to the guy. He said, "Look, man, I just lost my job. I just got down on some hard time." But he was very dedicated. He's like, "But I'm going to get back. I'm going to get back." I said, "All right, hold on. Jake, yeah, what's happening? You still got them apartments that you're building?" "Yeah, well, I need a 3-bedroom apartment today." "How much? 3,000, 36,000? I'm gonna wire the money." So now I got him off the streets, right? Then I asked the guy, I said, "Well, what do you like to do?" He said, "Man, I do whatever." "Hey, Tony, you still got that lawn service?" "Hey, you like to cut grass? You got that lawn service? I'm gonna send a guy over, boom, 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 make sure he get paid, whatever, I'll pay you back." So got the guy off the street, got him started. 2 years after that, the guy started his own lawn service. He was cutting my grass in Orlando. Pressure to me is when you don't know where your next meal is coming from.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So when I spoke to the Aflac folks on Wednesday, I ended the conversation with "Pressure is a privilege." That was a quote by Billie Jean King. And I just wanted to unpack that with you for a second, because people are always like, "Oh my God, there's so much pressure. It's the fourth quarter and everything is squeezing in on me and I can't handle the stress and whatever." When you look at it, that's where the lesson is. That's where the rub is. The rub is getting to that point. So I wanted your
Yeah, Jake and I had a similar conversation last week on Thursday about anxiety, and to me, it's all the same: pressure,
yeah,
anxiety,
yeah, very
nervousness.
much.
Like, it just means you're in the right spot. It means you're growing. It means you're in a place of discomfort which is a great place to be. And it is a privilege. And I think, Shaq's video of obviously like them perspective, like what's real pressure, right? Like your pressure to do your presentation and to execute at a high level versus the pressure to keep your family off the street and just be able to make a meal. There's levels to this. So perspective is huge. But yeah, like to me, it's not, if you want to have success, you're never going to be comfortable. You have to accept that up front. And so if you want to continue to grow and you want to continue to do more, it's constant discomfort, and it comes with a lot of pressure to succeed, to perform, pressure to perform. And so along with that, you got to be doing the things for yourself to build the capacity to handle that. The more pressure you can handle, because the more well taken care of you are, the more you've trained for it, the more you've prepared for it, the more you've taken care of your body, the more you've taken care of your mind, the more capacity you have. And if I have capacity to deal with more than you and have the propensity to seek out more discomfort than you, I'm going to be better than you. Period. End of story.
Yeah. I think you hit on a lot of the great points. Is, it's self-generated. I put pressure on myself to be the best I can be every day. And I think that's what the people this week that I was in front of, God, it's like, I'm not measuring a month or a year. I'm measuring every day, looking in that mirror. What am I doing? What am I not doing? How do I get better 1%? There's pressure. But that pressure, if you think about how they make diamonds, it's friction. Diamonds come out of this beautiful thing. So great conversation, great way to start a Monday. But the perfect song, Billy Joel.
I'll tell you what it means. Pressure! Don't ask for help, you're all alone. Pressure! You'll have to answer to your own. Pressure! I'm sure you have some cosmic rationale. But here you are in the night, 2 men out and 3 men on nowhere to look, but inside where we all respond to pressure. All your life is Time magazine. I read it too.
I love
What
it.
does it mean? So the words are fantastic. Look inside. We all respond to pressure, man. Bang! So,
Pressure.
way to go, Billy Joel. Sing that song all day long and be grateful. So to wrap it up, I love reading every day. Everybody knows that I have a ton of stuff that comes in. I've been sending you some really good stuff from Matt Bertulli, who's just putting out great stuff. But Seth has been doing it for 20 years. I mean, this guy just keeps coming out. If you're not getting his blog, you should. And here's the reason why. He just takes simple stuff and he said, ease isn't the same as easy. And I don't know if you got a chance to read it, Mark, but I
Yeah, it
would
was
love.
fantastic. And he talked about how they're actually opposites and how
Yeah,
easy
right.
work is hardly ever worth the effort. But ease, on the other hand, is the feeling of doing. Ease is alignment. That's really what I think I got from that, was that like easy is bullcrap. It's nothing. You're
Right.
wasting your time. And I almost relate that to a little bit in sales of dialing. Like, sure, it's hard to interrupt people in cold call. It's not that hard to dial the phone, though, to auto dial and go, right.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's easy to do that. It's easy to say I
Right.
dialed the phone 100 times and nobody picked up. It's not easy to do the research. It's not easy to devote the purpose to what you're doing and not make it about selling and make it about connecting, but there's ease in it because there's alignment, because I know why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I know I'm making it about another person. And so it reduces a lot of that friction and a lot of that negativity. And I think that's really what, if you really feel like you're pushing the boulder up the mountain every day, you're probably just in the wrong spot, probably doing the wrong thing.
I'm so glad you said that, because if you're going against the grain, something's wrong. It's
Right.
never been easier to do what we do.
Right.
You know, I put that slide up. Is it harder or easier to be in biz dev right now? Most people say it's harder. And I say bullshit. It has never been easier to build relationships at scale. You don't have any gatekeepers, right? You don't have any travel or time zone restrictions anywhere, anytime. You can give somebody, which I love your term, I'll give you credit, that digital high five. Hey, man, boom, good job, way to go, thanks for connecting, bing, 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 man. You're walking around giving digital high fives. It's the start of or spark of a conversation. How easy is that?
It's
So,
that
and the
simple.
better, so here's the thing, the better you get at something, that's where the ease is. Like people say, wow, you do this so well. You do video like really well. Yeah, but I've been doing them for 10 years. I've done 10,000 videos, right? If it didn't get better, something would be wrong, you know?
Right.
I mean,
Correct.
so, so it's like the idea, and, no matter what, pressure, ease, all of these things we talk about, if you are not ready, if you are not looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I am ready to do this, to get better at it, just 1% every day. I see Tom Nolan's here, him and his group,
I mean, we're working with Tom at the Newcastle group, and I've gotten so much great feedback from them but there's a desire there to grow from their people. That's why it's resonating with them. That's why they're taking action on it, because they have a desire to grow. Let's be very clear. You can't make anybody want to do anything. They have to want it for themselves. And if they want it for themselves, then you can give them all of the proper training and guiding and all of the tools that can help them be successful. But you can't put that want into anybody. And I think what's really interesting is, like, you watch a team like the Georgia Bulldogs. They walked into Texas this weekend. They absolutely manhandled that football team and showed up with an intent to win. What Kirby Smart is able to do as a leader is create a level of behavior that if you're not willing to match that, forget about want, forget about motivation. You don't fit into that culture because the standard of expectation is so high that it weeds you out. It's what Coach Saban did at Alabama. What is apparently currently not there at Alabama with Kalen DeBoer. So it's really interesting to see the way leadership and standards and expectations develop consistency in teams, and it's true for yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Becky Castillo, who's here, and if you haven't had coffee with Becky, please do. But I get all this accolades from Amaranth. Oh my God, you did such a great job with Becky. And that I didn't do anything different than I do for everybody. She was ready.
Yep.
She was like, I want change. I want to be different. I want to think and act differently. So I love that you zeroed in on that, because it's a big responsibility. And that, my boy, is pressure.
Yeah, I love it. Excellent. Great show. Great way to kick off the week. Remember that if you enjoy the conversation, if you're looking for more, we're super easy to find. All you have to do is go to ontheball.co and learn about all the ways that we help individuals and organizations get 1% better every day. Dad, thanks for a great start to the week. I will be back tomorrow with Jake, not you, because we're flipping the order, and I will be on Tuesday. So tune in tomorrow for more content to help you get 1% better every day. Let's get down to business.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down to business. Let's get down